Okay, so again, how about this one is our playlist? First song is Peace Shanti Out, and we'll get started at a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and press your buttons. Okay. Sit up nice and tall. And today, actually, you can start off sitting on something, but we will be doing some work off of trying to, actually, I'm going to leave it there. That's a good spot for it. So just take a moment to settle into your breath. You can roll yourself around in your seat to find that perfect posture, kind of curvy straight spine, rooting down through the floor, through those 3 bones, lengthening up through the crown of the head without drawing the front of the ribs up with you. Start to feel your upper arms just starting to open up a little bit. So opening up the chest a little bit. You can even do it with your inhale to really experience a little bit more of a physical opening. And also feel as you're opening through the front that there's also lots of space now on the back side of the body. And also notice, and it's so subtle, but just start to feel, if your hips feel as if they're coming forward towards your thighs, just start to lift them up ever so slightly. And just again, notice moving back into alignment if it makes a energetic difference. Get a little bit more space, a little bit more of this feeling that you can root down, lengthen up, whatever that energetic difference is. Just a few more breaths, noticing that, we've gotten to about that breath number 5 in quiet kind of internal devotion, I like to call it. Just feeling yourself out, that the body starts to respond and starts to relax, and you may notice the breath beginning to slow down ever so slightly. None of it being done or controlled, just noticing. And then noticing that softness through the body, through the mind. Are there other places you can add a little bit more softness? Maybe your facial features, maybe your jaw, maybe through the backs of the eyes. So we're just going to take our hands behind us. So we're going to roll, cross the legs the other way. I'm going to take our arms up and just give them a stretch. And then bend your right elbow, just grab hold of it with your left hand, drawing that right elbow a little bit more forward towards the center of your mat. And feeling the right underarm hollow a little bit. You can, maybe if your hand, if your right hand touches the back of the heart, can you feel it starting to lift it up, both underarms starting to hollow? And then notice if your shoulders are up at the ears, can you start to release them down? Pulling the side ribs back just a little bit more. One more breath up here. And then we're going to release that arm and take that right hand onto the left shoulder. Take your left hand to the right shoulder or just to the right, the right elbow. And just give yourself a little twist to the right. Here, let's do a little neck work. You can nod yes. You can also turn your head forward and drop the right ear towards the right shoulder and nod yes. So whatever makes more sense to you, let's take another 3 breaths. In whatever neck stretch that feels good. You can move around whichever way the mind decides that'll feel nice. Beautiful. All right, so then turn your head back and up. We'll release both arms and just shake them up. Stretch the arms back up again. We'll grab hold of the left elbow, drawing it forward, hollowing out through the underarms, breathing, softening through the shoulders, drawing the sides of the ribs back. One last breath here. And then exhale, taking that hand to the right shoulder, just looking over your left shoulder or taking the ear towards it or doing whatever makes sense to you for, again, another 5 breaths here. And then coming back up. And again, just releasing the arms and giving them a little shake. And now we're going to take our meditation pillows or whatever you're sitting on away. We're going to come into a bound angle. We're going to sit up tall. Now this is challenging first thing, so we'll come back to this at the end. But we can take our hands behind us, loop the shoulders so you feel the heart again back to the shoulder blades, lifting the heart. The hands usually, because it gives you a little lift, can lift you a little bit up and out of the low back, which is exactly what I want here. And then we're just going to see if we can take our right leg, slide it out, and slide it back. Left leg, slide it out, and slide it back. Okay, we'll try that again. Open, close, open, and close. All right, so this one, you can stay with that or a little harder. Lift the foot up, stretch it out, bring it back, bring it down. So this is a lot of hip work. And this actually, for some of us, it might be like, it doesn't work. I cannot lift the leg up here. Oh, good, Bernice, that's amazing. That's not your good side. So this is hard work for those that have hip stuff going on. So just be mindful, and if you are doing it, way to go. One last time. Now, if you can lift the leg, that's fine. Keep sliding and do it a little bit every day. Excellent. And then we can, you can always come back to it. So hands forward, or you can keep your hands back, press the feet into one another, reach the knees away, and just start to reach the heart up and away from the bones that are connecting to the floor. Press the feet into one another, drop the knees to each side, right and left. 3. Beautiful. All right. So from here, let's try this. We're gonna bend both knees to one side, roll to the other, roll to one, and again, your hands can be on the floor if you need them to be. Now, if this movement is accompanied by lots of pain, don't make it harder. Don't think, oh, okay, well, pain is good. Pain is never good. The only thing pain is good for is to tell us something that's going on in the body. So there's something that we want to look at as opposed to just keep staying in that spot of discomfort. All right, so one last time. And then let's cross our feet forward, reach the arms forward, and we'll make our way up. Okay, coming to the mat. And again, as I said, if you want to use the wall today for a little bit of just some guidance, I'll show you. You don't need to. But if that's the case, we're going to start in a child's position. So if your child doesn't work for you, you can do it on your back. With your heels up against the wall. And just reach your arms forward, let the head hang here. So you know if wall's not available to you, you can just come up and do just a regular child's pose. Notice what's going on in your heels here, if they're splaying out, if you can keep the inseam of the leg kind of rooting towards the floor, notice, or towards the wall. Notice I didn't say on the wall. One more breath here. And on your next exhale, let's make your way up into downward facing dog with your heels up on the wall. Stretch out the toes here. Press the heels in, lift the backs of the legs up, or feel the stretch through the backs of the legs. And then you can bend one knee and bend the other knee. And then bending both knees, lifting the sits bones up. So to walk our feet forward towards the front of the mat. Heel toe, or toe heel, sorry, toe heel. All the way up. And then bending your knees, letting the belly rest on the thighs, letting the back of the neck get long, and hang here for a second. Bring your awareness to the belly, rising and falling with the breath. Bring your awareness to the release to the low back with each exhale. And then as you press down to the floor, let's start to roll ourselves up. You can slide your hands up your legs, up your thighs, up your hips, through the sides of the waist. Start to stretch the arms all the way up towards the sky again, pressing down to the floor, lift up. Let's bring the palms together up and over our head. And as you press down to the floor, lengthen up through the sides and stretch all the way over towards the right like a compass needle. And feel the oneness of your body here. So rooting down, lengthening up. One more breath. As you inhale, all the way back up, from your feet up to the fingers, and all the way over to the second side. Where's your heart here? Can you lift it up? And as you lift the heart up, do you feel your feet connecting even deeper towards the mat? Inhale back up again. And as we exhale, let's take the hands to the heart. And we're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. So our head comes first, up into the hands, and then bend the knees a little bit, feeling an articulation of the vertebrae all the way down the spine. Really slow work. Release to the floor, touch the floor. Inhale, roll yourself back up one vertebrae at a time. Stretch the arms up over the head. Let's do that again. Exhale, hands to your heart, and keep rolling down. Take your time with it. Start to notice that as you move through the vertebrae the second time, they're more responsive to move on their own. Beautiful. One last time, we roll up. Stretch the arms up. And here we go. Last one. Hands to the heart. And we start to again roll down one vertebrae each time. This time we'll slide our hands up to the shins and we'll come into a flat back here. lengthening head and tailbone away from one another, drawing the bottom ribs in a little bit and the upper arms back. Keeping all that in length, we'll bend our knees, plant our hands, and take our right leg back. Pull the legs towards each other, reaching the heel out through the crown of the head. And in this position, if you want, you can drop that back knee to the floor. As we inhale, pull the legs towards each other, and we'll start to do our rocking back and forth. So again, you can do this with blocks. You can do this with a knee bent, but not on the floor. The back knee bothers you. Do whatever makes sense. But find a little rocking through the hips here, and a nice stretch to the back of the left leg. Excellent. We're going to come forward, lift that back knee off the floor, and take our right hand to the floor, or also onto a block, if that makes your position twist a little bit easier. We're going to take the left hand to the shoulder. Right heel is going to hug back to the midline, and you're going to feel that lengthen you a little bit more forward. And then let's just do some circles with the elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch directions, so it's 5 in this direction too. Lengthening the heel and the head away from each other. You can close your eyes here so that you can really start to focus on this work in your shoulder blade. What are you feeling? What's cracking? What's moving along? All right, let's take that elbow up towards the sky. And if the elbow is lined up with the shoulder and not forward, so if you can see your elbow, just keep thinking about opening the chest as the right bicep draws forward. If you can't really see the elbow, float the arm up over your head. And as you press down to the floor, lengthen up through the crown, through the left hand. Yeah, that is the left hand. Excellent. Let's take that hand back down towards the floor. Step back, plank. Now, if you have a wall here, plank is fascinating. Walk yourself a little back, come into a downward facing dog, and then pressing the heels into the floor, come into your plank. And as you press the heels back, upper arms back, reach the head forward, you're gonna feel a really strong and powerful plank pose. Plank pose, yeah, you can say it's one of those that you want to spit a little bit as you say it. From here, you can stay. You can just start to get strong. You can feel the side of the waist hug in, pressing the floor down. If you want to tap the knees to the floor, you can do that. We're going to start to lower down. And as we lower down, lean forward a little bit. If you can lean forward a little bit and keep the heels on the wall, so your hands right underneath your shoulders, you'll notice as you come down, keep pressing the heels into the wall, and you'll slow down your movement a lot. As we inhale, take your arms wide and forward, let the back of the neck be on the back of the head. Gee willikers, forehead on the floor. And do some circles with the shoulders first. So both shoulders together here, rolling. You may notice that the left shoulder is not as sensational as the right, because we've already done a little work there. And then let's find the shoulders in the shoulder girdle and roll up a little bit. Now, if your feet are on the floor, you may want to come forward so it doesn't bother the back. Roll up and down. Inhale, roll up, and exhale down. Last time. All right. Slide the hands back. Press hands and knees into the floor. Lift up. And it's either rounding back through child's pose. I'm going to bring my heels back to the wall here, or make your way up into downward facing dog. So, downward dog with your legs in this position, I don't know, it's kind of fun. It does put a little bit more weight into the arms and the shoulders, but just press them back, see if that works. We'll get you strong. Let's look forward, we'll take our right leg forward. And then again, the left knee can either stay straight or you can bend it. We're gonna just start to rock back and forth here. And here I'm going to use my blocks to make it just a little bit more enjoyable for me. So closing my eyes, I always like to close my eyes as I move through this because it allows me to really focus on what's actually moving through my body. Trying to stay in a straight line as opposed to wobble from side to side through the hips. All right, this will be our last one back. And as we inhale and come forward, we're going to now lift that back knee off the floor. I'm planting my hand on the block. You don't need to. Take the right hand to the right shoulder. And as the right shoulder lifts up, feel the left ribs draw towards the right thigh. And also feel the left heel, the inner ankle, hug back to the midline. Lengthen from heel up to crown of the head. Let's start with some circles through that right arm. 2. And there's 5 of them, so you can count on your own. Switching directions now. Usually the more challenging, so when you don't say which way to go, you're going to usually go the way that's easier. So this is usually the more challenging way, so notice how it feels. And then let's lift that elbow. Again, if you can't see it, then float the hand up. But if you can't see it, just keep opening up through the chest, seeing if you can bring that elbow up a little higher. One more breath up here. And then we'll bring that hand back down towards the floor. We'll step that back leg forward and fold. Inhale, we're going to roll ourselves up. Stretch the arms up over the head. And then hands to the heart. Do a little side moving now. We'll try to get into the side body a little bit, so arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to go over to the side, bend into the knees, start to slowly roll down, touch the floor. And then inhale, slide your hands up the right side of the body, all the way back up. Spin over to the left. Oh no, don't spin over. Start to the side, my mistake. And then keep going and then start to spin. Hands come back down. And then inhale, we roll all the way back up. Stretch the arms up over the head. This time we're going to start to swing over, come down, and all the way around to the other side. Switch. A little trip around the world, and then hands come down to the heart. And before we move into our second set of sun salutations, just notice, how did the first set feel? Take a nice big inhale. Feel your feet ground, lengthen up through the crown of the head, and just feel the essence of you for a moment. Not such a bad essence, is it? All right, let's continue. Inhale, look up, palms up. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to the shins, lengthen into your flat back. Hands to the floor, we'll step our left leg back this time. Now, if you want, again, let's go up to that wall, press the heel into the wall. Walk your right knee so it's directly on top of your ankle. And then notice as you press to the back wall, the knee should feel quite stable here. From here, we're going to sweep the arms under and up. And then exhale, sweep back up. Keep pressing into that back wall. Lengthen the head forward. Inhale up. And exhale down. Last time. Beautiful. Touch down. Step back. Plank pose. And if you're using the wall, keep your feet pressing into the wall, reach your heart forward. the head comes forward. See if that helps slow you down. Now inch yourself a little away so the tops of the feet can flatten. Loop up, cobra. Exhale, lower back down, let the head touch. Walk your hands in a little bit, see if you can come up into the same version of cobra without any discomfort. Come back down. Keep going until you feel that you can come up high without any discomfort. It may be today, it may be in 10 years from now. Beautiful, one last one, inhale, lift up, and I'll hold here. Drawing the elbows back, upper arms back to reach that heart forward. Draw your ears slightly back. Beautiful. Exhale, roll back down. Press hands and knees or hands and toes into the floor as you lift up. And back either into child's pose or into downward facing dog. So for those in downward dog up against the wall, you can take your right leg or your left leg up or your right leg, whatever makes sense. And then switch. Just to let you know, a little bit will take toenail polish off walls. Come back down. Look forward, we're going to take our left leg forward towards our left thumb. And again, if you've got your heel up against the wall, make sure the left knee and ankle are lined up. Keep pressing into that back heel to lift yourself up. And then scoop the arms under as you come up. So I find with my foot up on the wall here, it gives me like tremendous balance. Up and down one more time. Beautiful. Hands come back down. We'll step the back leg forward and hold. Bend your knees. Hold on to your elbows. Take a nice big inhale. Bend your knees more and stretch the elbows forward. Pulling the elbows apart. And feeling the hollowness again through your underarms. Reach the heart towards the forearms. Exhale, release back down. Take your hands, take a look. We're going to switch what hand is on top. Bend the knees again, stretch the elbows forward, lengthen, hold. Exhale, release, fold over the legs, let the hands go. Inhale, roll yourself up. Press down, lift up, arms overhead. Hands slide down through your heart. Heart up into hands as you inhale. Keep the heart lifted as you release your hands. Exhale. One extra breath here, just noticing. And let's start again. Inhale, lift up, palms together. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to shins, lengthen. Hands to mat. Let's take the right leg back. And again, if you want to find a wall here, you can. We're going to sweep ourselves up. Exhale, we're going to take our right hand onto the wall or not. Turn the heel and come into a warrior two position. So notice, right hand on the wall, left hand reaching forward, both arms in the same kind of position. Pull the legs towards each other. So if you're not using the wall, you're just in a warrior two. And then if you're not using the wall, you're just coming into a normal exalted warrior. From here, what we're going to do if you're up against the wall is we'll slide that right hand down and take the left arm and try to reach the wall. Make sure here that the left knee is tracking the center of that left foot. You can slide the right arm down a little bit more if you need. Beautiful. And then reach the left arm back forward. Unplug that back heel, sweep up through a lunge. Exhale, both hands to the floor. Again, moving through a vinyasa. You can take that right leg forward. Inhale, sweep up through a lunge. Take your left hand to the wall, spin your left heel back so it's the outside of the foot is up flush against the wall, and you're in a warrior two. Regular warrior two also works. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, slide the left arm down, take the right arm, lift it all the way up and over, try to grab the wall if you can. We're reaching up towards it. If you can grab it, you can slide your left arm down. Keep that knee moving forward, reach the heart up. Press into the top. We just start to slide that left arm back through your warrior two. Excellent. Unplug that back heel, sweep both arms back up. And then we find floor. And we'll step that back leg forward. Hold. Inhale, roll yourself up. Stretch the arms up. And keeping those arms up, let's do some circles with the upper body. So just reaching those arms in a big circle, pressing down to the floor. Starting to feel like a little churning through the belly muscles. Softness through the knees. Switch directions. Feeling a little bit like one of those flying, whatever tubes at a used car lot. Beautiful. And then coming all the way back up. And fold forward. Hands to shins. Hands to the floor. Let's step our left leg back. And again, you're using the wall. Cool, sweep up. Exhale, open up, warrior two, drop that foot. Try to find the wall with your right hand. And then exhale, reach all the way forward and bring either the hand to the thigh or the hand to the floor. Top arm is either reaching up away from the hand on the floor or it's reaching up and away from that back foot. Wherever your positioning is of the arm, start to feel the right buttock tuck under and heart reach up towards that hand in the air too. Breathe. Back leg nice and strong as we make our way back up. Straighten that front leg. Now come to the wall again. Stretch, big stretch here. And then all the way back down, we unplug that back heel. Both hands come to the floor. Step back and move through a vinyasa. Back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, big exhale through the mouth. Inhale, and beautiful. Let's look forward. We'll take our left leg forward. Sweep ourselves up, high lunge. Warrior two. Exalt your warrior. And then elbow either to knee or hand to the floor. Right arm lifts up. Or it reaches over the head. 3 breaths here. One last breath. And then pressing into that back foot and back up. We'll stretch the left leg straight, reaching that left arm towards the wall. Big side stretch. Should feel nice, like a big yawn. And then back. Unplug that back heel. And then fold forward. Let's step that back leg. Actually, let's not. Let's come back into downward facing dog. We'll take that right leg up. I believe we haven't done that yet. Okay. All right, so to walk, so the next one we're gonna do is a standing split. So you can either just come into downward dog, start to walk your feet a little forward, plant them, and take a leg up. Or if you've got a wall, you're gonna walk your feet back into this downward dog, and you're gonna take a leg up and walk your hands back. Again, Vim is a wonderful help for walls if you're worried. Back of the neck long here, arms nice and strong, pressing the floor away from you. Exhale, take that left leg down, and we'll lift the right leg up. And even if you're not used to, this is an easier version of it doing it without the wall, but it's still very powerful. Couple more breaths. Excellent, we'll take that leg down, and then walk your heels to the wall, feet flat, and just come and lean up against the wall into a little forward fold. Your heels, so I just moved my heels from right against the wall to a little away so that I can hang here. And then I'm going to bend my knees and start to roll myself up again. And just find the wall. Beautiful. If you're not using the wall, you're just back of the mat, standing Tadasana. Feeling the heat that's starting to arise through the body. I know standing splits is something that it's like a creeper. It first makes you a little hot, and then you finish, it's like, oh no, not just a little hot. I am very hot. All right, let's keep going. So we'll lift our arms up. As we exhale, hands are going to come down. We're going to roll ourselves down through the spine. Noticing now that the body's a little bit more warmed up, that you can really start to feel that articulation. Hands to the floor. We're going to walk ourselves forward. And we're going to come all the way down to the mat. Come on to your right side. So I've got my right foot up against the wall. Of course, you don't need to. You're going to take that left leg up and give it a hug. From here, you can take your left arm down. Let's do some circles with that knee. Up and around. Beautiful, and then lift that leg up, hold on to the back of the leg, reach that leg up high. And hold on to the foot if you want, turn the heel a little forward, and notice that usually allows you a little bit more stretch to the leg. Beautiful, we'll release that leg down, draw the knees together, hold on to the heel, draw the heel in towards your bum. Get a little nice quad stretch here. Beautiful, and then we'll release. We're going to roll over onto our bellies and then over to the second side. I will flip. So if I had another wall on the other end, I would use it because I like the feeling. Now I'm just going to keep my hand up on the wall. That's going to give me a little balance. So whenever I'm using the wall here as a stabilizing feature, heel in, big circles through that top knee. Second direction. And then it comes up to the chest, we hold on to it. You can hold on to the foot, draw it up towards the sky. Turn the heel forward, bring that leg a little closer. Okay, bend the knee, both knees into the chest, or both knees together, heel in towards your back. Inner thighs both spit back a little bit, away from each other. Excellent, and then you can release onto your belly. So we're gonna do a little knee work now. If you wanna do that series again, if you're not comfortable on your knees, please do. But we're gonna come up and we'll use the wall. We'll start off in a tabletop position. We're gonna take the left leg and reach it towards the wall. I'm kickstanding my right leg out to the right, and then I'm gonna spin, coming into this half moon position. Now, have your right shoulder lined up, so the shoulders are lined up, the shoulder feels in the shoulder girdle, and just hang here for a moment. As we exhale, we're going to take the hand down and spin that heel back, coming into just as should be lower. So the body should be in a straight line. Open up. Beautiful. And then close yourself off. Last time. Open up. And here, if you want, you can take your foot off the wall and grab hold of the foot and come into Chapasana. Beautiful. So release that foot nice and slowly. Reach the arm up. Press the foot back into the wall. So not that it's going to happen, but imagine being able to lift up that right leg. Just power up that arm for a second. Make sure it's in the shoulder girdle and that the palm or the bicep is reaching forward. Beautiful. Exhale, come back down and release a little bit from side to side. Let's move to the second side. We'll take that right leg up. Find the wall, try to make it hip level. Spin the left foot open to the left and come into this half moon pose. Exhale, bring the foot back down, spin back. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Last time. Open, hold here. And if you want, you can also grab hold of the foot coming into Chapasana. I have a feeling you all know where we're headed next. Excellent. Slowly again, we release the leg, nice and slow, reaching away. We imagine ourselves in this position, shoulder, wrist under shoulder, holding this, pressing into the foot, imagining that left knee lifting up, but it not lifting up. And then releasing. And just taking a moment in child's pose, heels up against the wall if you're using the wall, or downward facing dog with or without the wall. Beautiful. Bend your knees, look forward, make your way back to the front of the mat. And fold. Bend your knees, we'll sweep up into Uttanasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Heart up into the hands as you inhale. Keep the heart lifted, release your hands. Exhale. Beautiful. We'll pull our shins back, sweep back through your Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Hands to the shins, lengthen. Hands to the mat, make your way through Vinyasa. If you're tired, then come into downward dog and wait for us. But if moving through Vinyasa is still available to you, you will get stronger. Let's take that right leg and bring it forward. Inhale, we'll come up. And again, we'll open up warrior two. Okay, so from this position, we're going to make our way into half moon pose. So let's do a triangle first. So left arm comes down, right arm lifts up, we'll stretch. So if you've got your feet up against the wall, it's just a good marker to keep that foot, front foot's a little too wide for me. Keep it engaged and rooted down. And from that back foot, reach the bottom ribs forward. So basically what we're doing here is we're taking the weight that tends to end up here, and we're really rooting into that back leg where it really belongs. Let's reach the arms out. One more breath like this. On your next exhale, pressing down to the big toe mound, take your arms and just pivot them. Nothing else changes. Can you press your hand or press your shin into the hand and then really start to draw the bottom ribs forward. Look up. Beautiful. Now look down towards the floor. We're going to place our hand not too far away because if we're using the wall. So if you're not using the wall, it's 6-10 inches forward, kitty corner. But if you are using the wall, you're going to take your hand where your foot is, lean forward, find the wall, and then place your hand where it belongs. So again, in this pose, we want to make sure that the back of the front knee, the right knee is not locked. There's a softness to it. Feel the right buttocks tucking under, and lift the left arm up. And you will notice in this pose, as you press into that wall, it becomes really easy, well, not really easy, but relatively easy to make this pose a little bit more just about the legs. Beautiful. And exhale, bring that hand back down, spin the foot. Here we are in Warrior 3 pose. Again, left hip is facing down, standing leg is not locked. And you can stay just like this, both hands on the floor, or press the shin into the hands. And here you are in a really interesting balance pose, hugging the hips towards each other, belly in. Both hands come back down again, open up, and here you half moon again. Excellent. For those of you that want to move into Trikonasana, just lean the body away from the wall and grab hold of that foot. All right, release that. Just a little fun. Find that wall again. Take both hands down and step back. Move through your vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Nice. Let's take the left leg. We'll bring it forward. Inhale, make your way up through a lunge, or through a Warrior 2. Stretch back. Reverse triangle pose. Take all that weight, put it in your back leg. Start to hinge from the hips. Bottom right, bottom left ribs reaching forward. Keep working through that back leg. Reach the arms forward, forward, forward. And then find triangle pose. Bottom ribs lengthening. Left buttock tucking under, looking up at that hand in the air. Breathe. Keep going. Let's see how you're doing. So I can't see from this direction, so yeah. All right, so moving into your Warrior. So I guess I'll do this side without the wall, so you can. Okay, so I am taking my hand forward because I have no wall to work. And then even without the wall, I'm imagining I'm pressing my right foot into a wall. You can take that right arm up. Lengthen, soften through that standing leg. It so badly wants to lock. And then take that right hand down, spin the toes down towards the floor, reach that foot away from you. Lengthen the crown of the head, Warrior 3. From here again, if you press, imagine you're pressing into a wall, you can start to, a little bit easier, make this pose all about your feet. Much easier with your right foot up on the wall here. We're gonna open ourselves once up into that into that half moon where you can stay, or you can slowly start to make your way into Chapasana. Breathe, go. We're gonna take a big break after this. I know this is hard, huh? Release nice and slow. Beautiful. Coming back down. And find big stretch in your downward facing. And then slowly, similar stretches as you move toward your child's pose. Excellent. Okay, start to roll yourself back up, and you can come and sit. Woo. So before we move on, just take a moment and notice all that excitement. Like, it's almost like a little bit of a party in the hips and the glutes. Everyone feeling that party? I'm certainly, I know, it's really like, ooh, yeah, I worked that, that's cool. Okay, so we want to make that feel really comfortable. So all that new sensation, it's like you want to send a welcome party too, so that it thinks that it's done a good job, which it has. It's done a really good job. Let's make our way back into this bound angle and see how this feels now. Taking again the hands behind you, feet together, knees apart, low back, drawing in and up. So we're trying to roll to the front of the sits bones here. From here, if you want it, only if it feels good, you can do this time without the hands on the floor. Okay, I'm gonna slide that right leg out. Slide it back. And then you may notice that it comes in and it's like, from here, it's like, it doesn't want to move. Yeah, so that's the work that we're trying to get to. You can bring it in with your hands, but eventually we want to be able to get that mobility, sliding it back and all the way in. It's muscles. When do we use muscles like this? Do it 2 more times on each side. Low back still up. So look at your posture here. Beautiful. All right. Now we're going to try to do it without our foot on the floor. Reach it out. Now, if your low back, as you bring that leg out, your low back rounds down, that's not good. So you're going to either want to do this one with your hands on the floor, trying to find that core work, or you're going to just keep sliding back and forth. Or just work much, much harder at keeping that balance. So really think about how important posture is in this pose. I'm getting hot again. Anyone else? Yeah, I know. Okay, there we go. This time, arms are going to come up. Pull the legs back towards you. Reach the heart forward. Keep pulling the feet towards you and into each other as you come forward into this little bound angle. Now, you can always take your hands down if you want. And you do want to take your hands down if you feel, again, like you're rounding through that thoracic spine. You want to keep that low back in and up as you reach forward. Beautiful. And then we'll come back up and we'll bring those legs together. Give them this little hug here. Take a nice big inhale and exhale. All right, so let's do one last one for the hips. We're going to come into thread the needle pose. So here again, you may want to start with your hands back behind you, drawing that low back in and up. That just created a tremendous amount of stretch through the outer right hip. Stay with your hands on the floor. If it didn't add much and you can do it without your hands, then do that. Low back in and up here. You can take your hands and wrap the right hand through, left hand around, and lift. If it's available, you can come into baby cradle. Press the big toe mound into the left bicep. Heart lifting up. From here, start to lift your heel off that left knee. And then, yeah, eventually you want to straighten that left leg. And just rock a little bit from side to side. bring that leg all the way over, coming into half moon, or what's this pose? Cow head, half cow head. Gomukhasana. So you can keep your left hand in front of the right foot and stay like this. You can also take this bottom leg and draw back, as long as those sit bones stay on the floor. We're sitting up nice and tall here still. So with the right knee forward, we're going to take the left arm up, coming to that first position we were in. Bend your elbow back, hold on to the back of the heart. And then feel your underarm hollowing as the left hand lifts the heart up a little bit. And you can stay like this. So this is a wonderful way of doing this pose. You can also take your right hand out to the side, spin the thumb down, bend the elbow, bring the hand all the way over towards the other side. See my hand here, and then up towards that left hand, pressing both hands into the back of the heart, maybe holding on to them if you can. And then if all of that goes and you want a little bit more, you can start to come into a bit of a forward fold. If you're really close to holding onto your hands and it bothers you, then just grab your tie. Right? Take your tie in your top arm. Grab hold of it with the bottom arm. Right? Draw your elbows towards the midline. Reach the heart forward. Beautiful. Inhale, we'll come back up. We'll release the right arm. Release the left. And just give yourself a nice little hug. Okay, other side. We're going to start here. Actually, we start our legs straight. We'll bend our left knee. Sitting up nice and tall. Then we'll bend the right leg. Still sitting up nice and tall. Maybe your hands have to be behind you. Start to notice the sensations that are coming into that left hip from this position. Stay with them. Don't try to avoid them. When you avoid them, they just sit there and keep yelling. But if you actually bring your awareness right into that area, what is that sensation? Can I breathe, make it feel better? Can I create a little space around it by imagining that breath going in deeper into that area? Does that help? All right. Left arm can come through. You can wrap around like so, or you can take your hand around the left leg, left big toe mound, pressing into the right bicep. Lift up nice and tall. And here you can stay, or you can keep going, stretching that right leg straight and just rocking that baby leg of yours. Lean back to the front of your sits bone. See if you've lost that. Also notice if you've lost your waist. Don't lose your waist. Excellent. All right, let's take that foot over, coming into half cow head. And either staying in half cow head or making your way to full cow head, as long as those sit bones come down to the floor. If this bothers either one of the knees, can ask yourself why you're staying, because I would never stay in a place that bothered my knees. Anything else? No, I guess it's just the arm. So we'll take that left arm up now. Nope, we'll take the right arm up now. Grab hold of the outside of the elbow, draw it forward, draw the back of the hand towards the back of the heart. Or the hand, not the back of the hand not to the back of the heart. Underarm is hollow here. We're sitting up nice and tall, and we're going to take our left arm, lift it up, reach it out to the side, spin the thumb down. Bend the elbow, bring that hand all the way across so that the elbow comes in, and then slide it up towards the right hand, trying both hands to come together. You can see in this one that my shoulder, my left arm is not as mobile. It doesn't go as far back behind. So I am going to use my tie here. And what I'm trying to do with the tie is get both elbows towards the midline. From here, the heart lifts up towards the sky, and then feeling both sits bones connect, reach the heart up and away from the tailbone. Great. Inhale, we'll come back up. Gonna release the top arm. Grab hold of the left arm, start to slowly release it, and give yourself a nice little hug. Excellent. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Let's make our way down to the floor. So again, you don't have to use a wall here, but using a wall for bridge pose is kind of fun. So if it's available to you, just put your feet up to the wall. So instead of using the floor as your lift up and down, you can actually slide yourself a little closer towards the wall and roll up and down through bridge pose with your feet up against the wall. What I like about this pose is, for me, it really allows me to articulate some movement into some of the vertebrae that I have trouble with, which is kind of like mid-back here. So either way, if your feet up against the wall, your feet down on the floor, let's just start to do a little rolling up and down the spine. Just make sure that your shoulders are tucked under well, back of the head, or chin, back of the head is on the floor, neck is not. Especially if you're using the wall here, don't look at the camera, just keep looking up at the ceiling. I'll tell you when you can stop. So we're gonna roll up one more time in either one of the positions and just stay there. Pull the mat apart, or you can interlace the hands behind the back. Chin is up towards the ceiling, your heart is coming up towards the chin. And for those up against the wall, if you want, you can straighten your legs and come into this very interesting version of shoulder stand supported. You can also just do one leg at a time. Hold for another couple of breaths here. And then we're going to start to slowly release your hands. Start to roll down the spine one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. If your legs are up against the wall, feel free to just stay in Vakarini Karani, a little leg up the wall pose. So if not, you can draw your knees to your chest. Just rock a little bit from side to side. You can make your way into a little happy baby. If you're up against the wall, you can even move closer up against the wall. You can place your thumbs against the hip creases and just press them towards the wall. Feel here your upper arms run back down towards the floor. And feel that lovely space to the front of the pelvis that you've just initiated. You can bend your knees here if you want. Keep pressing the thighs away. Beautiful. And then we're going to draw those knees back together in either one of the positions. So we're either in legs up the wall in this little boat or just that. We're going to take our arms out to the side. We're going to come into a little twist here, so you can press your feet into the wall to move your hips over to the right about 2 inches, or you can press your feet into the floor to move your hips over to the right 2 inches. And start to draw the knees down. So if your feet are up against the wall, just inch them down. If it's too far the wall, it's nice to have a little, having a block underneath the knees here so the feet can rest is a lovely thing in either one of the 2 positions. Couple more breaths here, so just relax. We're settling. Don't think we have to move too quickly. We've moved a lot. Just move back to how the breath is moving through the body in this very tight space. All right, so we're going to turn our chin back to face up. We're going to walk our feet back, or draw our knees back to the center of our chest. Press into the floor or wall to bring our hips back through neutral, and then over to the right about 2 inches. And then starting to bring the knees down towards the floor, either inching them down or just hugging them in. Again, I'm using a bolster here to rest my feet on. You can use a block, the bolster was closer. Left shoulder is down. And settle. So one of the things you start to notice as you're holding a pose for a little longer is where exactly are you holding? And here, notice if that holding is really taking place in the hip area, like not letting the legs move at all, or in the jaw, the shoulders. Just be mindful of what's happening. It's always cool. All right, we're going to turn our chin back up to face the ceiling, start to walk our legs back up the wall. And either holding on to the legs here or coming into happy baby or stretching the legs wide. You can also just bring the legs wide on the wall. Okay, we're going to start to slowly bring those legs back up. And draw the knees back together. And again, I guess if you want to stay up against the wall here for Shavasana, you can. So I'm going to do this since I am up against the wall. I'm going to stay here for a bit. Let's do those shoulder stuff. So first, just take your arms together and just Cross over, bend your left elbow, draw the right shoulder over a little bit towards the left. Drop the shoulder back in the shoulder middle. If you want, if you're feeling some stuff, take your left hand and just warm up that shoulder blade, the right shoulder. Okay, so we're gonna take that right arm out to the side, bend it, and bring your hand back towards your head, keeping the whole arm on the mat. So here, just notice which muscles seem tight around the pectorals. So here around the side of the breast. Beautiful. And then we're going to release that arm to the side. Just take a moment in a T position with the arms. Notice if the right arm feels bigger, broader, more life in it than it does the left side. Take the arms up, cross the right arm under the left and draw back. And you can again just get into that rotator cuff. You can take your right hand to the shoulder, let it warm up. Excellent. All right, so we're going to lift that arm back out, take it to the side in a cactus, and then start to bring the hand back towards the head, the whole back of the arm on the floor. Palm facing up. And here you can take your right hand and start to massage down that. If there's tightness around the pectoral, into the underarm, like whatever the body is looking for right now, we have some time to give it to the body. So let's do it. Let's be as an assistant to some of the tighter areas and send a little love and thought and more and massage. Now, if your feet up here are starting to feel a little, tingly, just means that the blood is starting to drain down. You can actually just press through the toes, reach a little energy through them, and the blood will start to flow there. Or you can also bend your knees into a bound angle. You can also just come off the wall. So again, it's not that big a deal. From here, we're going to take our arms now, cross the palms over one another. Just notice which arm is on the bottom. And bring the hands up over the head, trying to get the forearms back down. So shoulders drop down, away from the ears, bottom ribs hug down. If this is too intense of a pose, here's where a nice little pillow behind your head will help just to give the arms some support. And if it's too much support, you can walk it away a little bit more. But allow the body to feel as if it is dropping here, And then bring your mind's eye to the sides of the chest, to the pectoral muscles again, where we just massaged, and feel breath moving in and out through there. Be mindful of how close the shoulders are to the ears, and know if they are really close, that's not what we're after here. We're after alignment, and alignment is not shoulders up to the ears. So raise the arms if need be. Bring your mind's eye back to the rest of the body as well. Make sure it's feeling comfortable, aligned, not overcompensating. So 5 more breaths with this hand on top. Okay, start to bring those arms up. We'll just stretch them out. Come back, the opposite grasp. One that feels a little strange. Bring it over your head. Start again, second side. All right, we can release the arms now. And again, if you want to stay up in Vakarini Karani for Shavasana, feel free. If you want to make your way to the mat, you can. Get your body all warmed up again, put all your extra layers back on. Oh, it's late, guys. Sorry, we're a few minutes over today. Today's daily Om is called intent. We tend to associate the energy of intent with complicated or profoundly meaningful actions that require our full attention and effort in order to succeed. For example, walking on a tightrope, taking a test, taking a vow are all tasks that call us to be fully present and single-minded.
However, intent can also be applied to everyday events like eating breakfast or going to work. In fact, everything we do benefits from the presence of intent, which has the power to transform seemingly mundane tasks into profound experiences. You only have to try it to find out. Intent is one of the cornerstones of the Zen tradition of Buddhism, in which monks work for years to develop the stillness and sharpness of the mind to do only one thing at a time. Most of the time, we are doing one thing and thinking of something else, or even doing three things at the same time, such as talking on the phone, doing the dishes, and boiling water for tea. There's nothing inherently wrong with multitasking, which seems necessary at times, especially in the midst of family life. However, balancing this with a healthy dose of intentional activity can provide valuable insight into the benefits of doing one thing at a time, being fully present with whatever the task at hand happens to be. From the moment we wake up, we can apply our intent to our situation by simply saying to ourselves, I am aware that I am now awake. We can use this simple tool throughout the day. I am aware that I'm driving to work. I am aware that I am making dinner, or even I am aware that I'm breathing. As we acknowledge what we are doing in these moments, we come alive to our bodies and to the world, owning our actions instead of habitually performing them. We may realize how often we act without intention and how this disengages us from reality. Applying the energy of intent to even one task a day has the power to transform our lives. Just imagine what would happen if we were able to apply that power to our entire day. Food for thought. So you can begin to deepen your breath. As the energy starts to move through and down through your arms and your legs, encourage the movement by wiggling through your fingers and your toes. Stretch on. Of course, stretching and yawning and moving in any way that makes the body feel good. And here's a perfect example of intent. Here we are, feeling the breath moving in, animating us, waking us up. Notice how profound that feeling is. It's lovely. So use it in any way that you move now until you feel ready to take a little bit of time on your side. And here, even in this space, this place between our day and our practice, notice the stillness, notice the pulsation of lovely energy moving through you. All right, and then when you're ready, you can make your way up to seated, and you'll sit up nice and tall. Well, thanks for staying with me for the extra couple of minutes of practice. Sorry I went over, I got all excited. Let's take our hands to our heart up into our hands. We'll take a moment for gratitude. So never, even though we're late with timing, never stop taking a moment for gratitude. Such a benefit for not only just recognizing how lucky we are, but just also the sensation that it provides our bodies, so our hearts, this nice warming through the body. So thank each other. Thank the community for being here, staying with you. Thank you all. Thank yourself. Thank your own body. Thank those that help you create your body, including yourself. And think of 1, 2 other things that just give you joy throughout this time that you can offer a little prayer to. We'll end our practice with the sound of one Om. Taking a nice big inhale. Big exhale through the mouth. Inhaling to Om. Bring your hands to our head and back to our hearts as a reminder that our thoughts should always be filtered through this very important organ. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Have a wonderful day.